afternoon, Gaffer.
Hi.
It felt like a really big win on Tuesday night in the Cup. What does that do for the confidence of a squad who hadn't won in a while?
Well, I think they get the confidence from being really competitive in the games. I think both games have been really competitive. I think it's nice to win football matches, of course it is, but you have to try and build on that. You have to try and keep winning if you can, stay unbeaten, give them belief and confidence they can go anywhere and get a result. Yeah, I think I can tell that the group, they're laughing and they're smiling and they're enjoying training and they're working really hard in training. And then come match days, we have to get the organisation right. We have to pick the right team if we can and give ourselves the very best chance. And yet, you know, we go into Stoke, we're on a really decent run. I don't think Steve Schumacher's lost a game yet, 5 games in. So they're obviously buying into what he's asked them to do. We'll go there and try and, you know, you're going to lose a game in the Championship at some stage. Let's hope it's their turn to lose and we can find a really positive performance.
You mentioned after the game on Tuesday we had more possession, more shots on target. Is that what you want to see from your side going forward on a more consistent basis?
I think that has to be the aim for the football club moving forward. I think that I've always tried to build a mentality in a group that they expect to win every game. They expect to win. And you don't win every game, but you expect to. You look at the opposition and you think you can go there and give them lots of problems. And the teams invariably who win are probably the ones who have the most shots, the most touches in the opposition box, the most possession. And yet there are other ways to play football. You can play transition football as this club found for quite a while. You're not really bothered about having the ball, but you know that if they lose it in a bad position and you commit enough men forward on a break, you can score. So there's lots of ways to play. I think moving forward, my aim would be to try and make sure that when fans come and watch us, we generally have the ball, we're trying to break them down. We have to guard always against the transition of the loss of the ball and the counter-attacks. But yeah, I would like to be able to play with the ball. Whether we can achieve that, let's wait and see of the quality of the footballers that we add to the squad and the growth rate of the team that we've currently got and how quickly they learn to when to keep it, when to play forward, when to put the ball at risk and when not to put the ball at risk. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to the journey. As every job is a journey with different people and different players. It's exciting at the moment, you know. They've shown me that they can work really hard. So however you want to play, if you don't work hard, you're not going to win many football matches. And this group, for the first 2 games, have shown me, you know, great work ethic.
And the Stoke game will be your 3rd game in 7 days. It could be a tiring one for the lads, but does it also allow you to try different things and to see all of your players in action?
That was what I did on the midweek game, really. I wanted to see everybody. I know we don't want to get knocked out of the FA Cup, but very early on, I think it was right to want to see all the players, what they bring, and so I did make, you know, quite a few changes. But the lads who hadn't been playing on a regular basis, of course, probably haven't got the fitness to do what we would like them to do over 90 minutes, and so that was why there was a pretty, you know, mass substitution on the hour just about, and because I felt as if they were really tiring. And as I looked at the data today, there was a big drop off around that point, which shot right back up when the substitutions came back on. So yeah, I've given them the chance to watch all the players in a game situation. And yeah, I've got some choices to make for this weekend, and let's see how the team looks and see whether we can go to Stoke and try and get a win.
In terms of injuries as well, any updates on the likes of Ethan Laird? Dukey missed the last game, and you said Ivu was out with an illness. How are they sort of doing?
Duke's going to be a couple of weeks, I'm pretty sure. Ethan's at the training ground today. With the ball, kicking the ball, not with the group, with the physio department. Just sort of looks to me as if he's finishing off his rehab and trying to get up to speed to join in with the training next week. I also did that, and he actually joined in a little bit as well early on. So he's he's a lot closer. His was an illness, not an injury, so the illness is obviously gone, and we're just easing him back into training. Neil Etheridge, he actually did some light work with the goalies today on the grass as well, so his injury, obviously it was a calf problem, I think it wasn't as bad as it might have been, so he was back on the grass with his gloves on. I think Ethan Laird's one that in my mind I'm looking forward to seeing on the grass with the group, because he is very loud regarding personality, and you generally hear him before you see him. I'm looking forward to see what he brings to the football team, you know, hopefully doing his job with a lot of confidence and belief. But yeah, let's wait and see. It's obviously good to have more of your senior players available for you and giving your options. So hopefully next week, I know the one we didn't mention, Big Roberts, he's doing the same. He was on the grass today. Kicking the ball, running, dribbling, all the stuff that he's going to need to do in training next week. But I think those lads will all generally be Laird, Roberts will be next week. The other two should make the squad this week. And
we've also had the likes of Tyler Roberts and Keshi Anderson back after pretty lengthy injuries themselves. Will that make for some healthy competition for those forward players?
Yeah. I said that to him the other night. I had to lean on the coaching department really to, I'm not sure how long Keshi's been out for, and Tyler. How long are we going to give them? Are we going to start them? Are we going to put them on for half an hour? I'm leaning on them really to keep me up to the info of what I think, because again, they show good things in training. But if you can't play 90 minutes, I'd rather stick them on the bench if they're on their way back from injury, rather than starting them. But yeah, let's hope we get to the point where every player's fit. It's unlikely, of course, because generally you get a few back, and then all of a sudden you get a few different ones getting injuries. But yeah, it's good that we're just about there. I think next week, I think both Roberts and Laird will be on the grass joining with the team again.
Looking at Stoke, you mentioned earlier that Stephen Schumacher has been very difficult to beat during his time at Stoke so far. What are you expecting to see from a side run by him?
A team that's very difficult to beat. Listen, he did amazing things at Plymouth, and I think Stoke are it's always hard to go to Stoke. It always seems to be blowing a gale. It's the corners are open a little bit there, aren't there? And it's a tough place to go. But I've been there over recent years and managed to win games, and so we are looking forward to it. I think I'm looking forward to the challenge to see what an away fixture brings for this group of players, and see how much better we can be this Saturday from last Saturday with the ball at times, and expect the same work ethic that we showed and give and keep going. If we need another late goal, hopefully that comes. But yeah, it's just the next game for us, and it's the next challenge, and for Stephen Schumacher and his team, it's the next game for them, and I think we'll go there and hopefully give them some problems. And yet I'm sure they're sitting today thinking that they've got a game that is very winnable for them. If they look at our record away from home, they'll see if they just have to, for them, I don't know what Stephen's going to say, but working hard and being organised, and Birmingham haven't won many games away from home this year, and it might be enough for them, but we have to make sure we book the trend of the away games, and starting tomorrow, see if we can get some positive results.
Just on a personal note, you've only been here for just under 2 weeks now, but it feels like you've already very settled into this manager role.
2 weeks, right? Yeah. I've been doing it 20 years. I think I've been into a few. You probably know better than me how many clubs I've managed now. It's never easy going into a new club. All I do, I don't try and be false. I just bring what I am really and who I am, and you either take to it or you don't take to it. What I do know is we have to win games. We have to try and find a way. Otherwise, the questioning on press conference days becomes much more difficult. And if you like the guy you're interviewing, it's difficult to ask him difficult questions, and maybe you've been there over the years. I'm sure you have. Some of you, it's it's a tough job, but listen, it's what I do. I understand we have to find a way to win games for this club. We have to make sure we can consolidate this season, and it would be great to win the next 3 or 4 games on the bounce, and then all of a sudden you might be saying, oh, do you think if you have a really good run you can make the playoffs? Or we lose the next 2 or 3 and we literally are looking over our shoulder and thinking, God, we have to find a way to win games to make sure we don't get sucked right into the bottom 3. But that's what we do. That's the challenge of the game. That's why you've got to encourage the players. You've got to like them enough to make them believe that you genuinely believe they're going to win games. And I'd have to say, after a week and a bit, I think we've got more than enough to be ultra competitive. And knowing the league, it's not always the best team that wins every game. It's not always the lesser team that gets beat every game. We have to make sure we're competitive every time we put a foot on the pitch for this football club, and we might win some we don't deserve it, and we might lose some where we totally dominate and get beat from a set play or a dodgy penalty. It's what football is.
And just finally from me, it'll be a sold-out away end as well at the Bet365 on Saturday. How much are you looking forward to experiencing that Blues support away from home for the first time?
Well, I just hope that we can give them a team performance that they're happy with. It's never easy walking back at Stoke from the dugouts in the middle of the pitch towards your away fans. If you've been beaten comfortably, they're not happy. And we fully understand that. But in my mind, you go there and give the best version of yourself and work really, really hard, right to the death. And as I always say to teams, as long as you can sit there after the game and know you've given everything, then I can't ask any more of you, really. And because sometimes you are the better team and sometimes you don't win the game. It's football. You have to accept it. Some supporters think you're rubbish if you lose and think you're great if you win, and that's sometimes not the case. So I hope we can find a good performance for the fans who make the trip, and hopefully they can enjoy the day and celebrate at the end.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.